If you're interested in high-performance electric scooters, then this video is definitely for you. A while back on my channel, I uploaded a highly comprehensive product review video for Varla's Eagle One scooter over here. If you have not seen that video, then be sure to click the video thumbnail located at the end of this video. Today we'll be checking out Varla's new Eagle One Pro high-performance electric scooter. I thought the Eagle One model was very nice, but Varla's Eagle One Pro, which is a much beefier scooter with new features, is even better. When this scooter arrived, it was packaged extremely well. When you remove the scooter from the box, it's already 95% assembled. The only thing that has to be done is to install the handlebar, control panel, and bell. Let me show you how that's done. Once the scooter has been removed from the box, carefully lift up on this pole so it goes completely vertical. And here you can see the design for locking this pole in the vertical position is different than the Eagle One. The Eagle One Pro has two ways to lock the pole. This one here, very carefully just tighten this down. The metal's going to go into the bottom pole and the top, joining the two together. Tighten this down securely. Once that's done, the next thing you're going to do is take the pin that's hanging just below this lower section and insert it into this hole. By doing that, you're going to have two locations locking this pole in the upright position. You're going to take the center section of the handlebar that's knurled, and you're going to center it exactly in that bracket. You're going to put the plate back on and loosely hand tighten the 4 bolts. Before you use the included multi-tool to tighten down the 4 bolts, you want to make sure the handlebar is in the correct position, tilted forward and back. And when you do tighten the screws or the 4 bolts, you want to make sure that the plate goes down evenly. Once that's done, the next thing we're going to do is take the control panel. Using the multi-tool, you're going to remove both hex socket bolts. Open up the clip all the way and place it directly in the center of the handlebar as shown. Once in the correct position, you're then going to reinstall the 2 bolts and tighten down securely. You have 2 cables leaving the control box. One is green, one is black. And it's going to match up with the 2 that are on the electric scooter. There's a pin at the bottom of the connector. You're going to make sure it's in the correct position when you push the connectors together. The last thing I'm going to be installing is the bell, and I'm surprised because in my last video I mentioned how they should have a nice electric one that you push a button, but as you can see right here, they decided to keep the regular bell. Just open up the clamp using a Phillips screwdriver, position the bell in the correct location that's comfortable for you, and then tighten down securely. Once that's done, everything is assembled. Now that everything's together, let me show you what else is included. When you purchase this, you get the switch mode power supply charger. I'll show you where this connects on the scooter in a minute. You get the owner's manual, 4 extra bolts, this multi-tool, and 2 of these right here, which are keys. Without this, you will not be able to start the scooter. What I'd like to do now is give you close-ups of each area of the scooter, explain how it's different from the Eagle One. We're going to take a look at the specifications for this scooter, and then lastly, we're going to take it out on the road for a test spin. Looking at the handlebar on the Eagle One Pro, you're going to notice that things are laid out just a little bit differently compared to the Eagle One. Eagle One did not have the screen in the center. There was a small one off to the right, as you can see here. Throttle control is on the right side, just like the Eagle One. This scooter here does not have a key to start up the scooter with a voltage meter. Everything is incorporated into this one unit. You have the brake just like the Eagle One. In this case, right is rear. You have this brake here, left front. There is no turbo button and eco button. You have other buttons right here. Power, You push that and hold it to turn on the display. The symbol right here flashing means it's waiting to have this card held close. You have a plus button, a minus button, and a headlamp button. Now on the Eagle One, in order to turn on the lights, you had to go to the opposite side and push the memory button, the M button, and hold it down. And then the lights would go on, front and rear. Push it and hold it, and that would turn it off. So the lights are over here now. Really nice display screen, much better than the Eagle One. This scooter was delivered to me, state of charge around 50%. Over here is your trip odometer, miles. You could go between miles and kilometers. I'll show you in a minute. Over here it says 1 PAS. That's the mode that you're in. So if I go over here, I believe if I push this button and you look up there, that's dual motor mode and single motor. So if I push the plus and hold it, there it goes off. So you can switch between dual motors and single just by holding the plus button. Pushing the power button fast goes between trip. That's your battery voltage, 59.1. Trip odometer and trip. All right, so now if I go over here, I think if I push both of these together, plus and minus, there, it brings you to the programming screen. So now let me explain each one of these settings. There's 11. P00 is set for 11. That's 11 inches. That's the rim size. The tires on the scooter are bigger than the Eagle One. If you push the power button once, that'll go to the next one. P01 is at 60 volts. It says battery voltage, do not adjust. Push this again. Setting number 2 is at 30. It says the number of magnetic poles, do not adjust. Let's go on to the next one. Speedometer. It says over here, units. You have kilometers per hour or miles per hour. Change it using plus or minus. Leave it on miles, go back. Number 4 is start mode. With this scooter, you have two options. Use the throttle alone and it just takes right off, or you can use kick to start. So basically, once it starts rolling, then you can go. 0 is 0 start, meaning you don't have to kick, just use the throttle and take off. Now let's go to number 5. Number 5 is set for 0. That means off. 1 would be on for cruise control. Now P06 is set for 3. And what that is the start strength off the line. So right now it's a little bit more towards the middle. 3 out of 5. It says do not adjust. And I can tell you it is pretty intense using the setting for number 3. So you would leave that alone. P07, that's power level. It's set for the highest at 80. So if somebody's going to be riding this and you don't want it going too fast, you can also restrict it using this setting. Put it back there. P08 is set for 0, and that's braking level. So 0 is considered weak, 2 is considered strong. So I could put it to number 1, right in the middle. P09 is the NFC key setting or near field communication setting. Default is number 2. You leave it on there. And P10 is lifetime odometer reset. Default is 0. If you choose 1, it will reset everything. So let's go back over here. To exit, push and hold, both. Right over here you can see it says 1 PAS, that's the speed setting. 1 is the slowest, just like on the Eagle One. 3 is the fastest. So if you leave it on 1, the maximum miles per hour is going to be 15. If I push the plus, on this setting, it's going to be a 25 mile an hour maximum. And if you go to 3, you better hold on because it will be up to 45 miles per hour. This electric scooter is not a toy, it's a high performance scooter. You need to be extremely careful when you ride this scooter and make sure you have all safety gear on. Over here's the bell. When the front brake or the rear brake is squeezed, you're going to see a flashing red light at the rear of the scooter. Right here you can see that the vertical pole is much more heavy duty than the Eagle One model. Here's a look down at the Eagle One Pro. Length is about 3.5 inches longer, around 8 centimeters compared to the Eagle One. The Eagle One Pro's deck is silicone. All this area here where the shock is mounted underneath, this is all silicone, slip resistant, and on the Eagle One, it was a decal that had like sand impregnated into the surface to make it slip resistant. The deck on the Eagle One Pro is just as wide as the Eagle One. On the Eagle One Pro, the kickstand is mounted off-center to the left, and on the Eagle One, it's mounted over here at the rear. Looking at the opposite side of this deck, right over here, there are 2 ports used for charging. You can charge the scooter using 1 charger or 2 simultaneously. Looking at the rear of the Eagle One Pro, you can see the suspension, coil spring. This top nut is what adjusts that spring, how much tension. And over here is your braking light as well as your running light for at night. Of course, you want to be very careful when you're operating any kind of an e-bike or scooter at night. So when I turn the button on for lights, you'll see this come on. On the Eagle One, the light is not here. You have 2 small round ones located at the corners. Looking from the side of the scooter, you can see the braking system, hydraulic, you got the caliper and the rotor. And you can see this piece right here, which makes up this whole fork, is larger on the Eagle One Pro. You also have these larger diameter tires of 11 inches. Looking at the front of the Eagle One Pro, you can see that everything is bigger compared to the Eagle One. You have the coil spring. This part of the fork is bigger. You have your 1,000 watt motor right inside of here. And on the opposite side, which I'll show you right now, is the brakes. Same thing as the rear, hydraulic disc. On the Eagle One Pro, you have this very bright headlamp, which is LED, which is fully adjustable, tilting in front and back. On the Eagle One, located over here, and on the opposite side, as you can see in this picture, was where the lights were located. When it gets dark out, I'll take this outside, show you how bright this is on the road. You can see right here on the front pole where the brake line comes out for the front wheel, you have a nice silicone bushing. There's another one higher up. Right over here are the product specifications. You can see motor, 2 times 1,000 watt. You got a 1,000 watt in the rear and the front. Maximum speed, 45 miles per hour. Climbing angle, 30 plus degrees. Battery pack is 60 volt, 27 amp hours, and that's located in the deck. Range, 45 miles, depending on riding conditions. So if you're riding on a flat surface, which is very hard, like a street, you should expect around 45 miles. If you're riding on grass, which is softer, you're going to be getting a lot less. If you're going uphill most of the time, that's also going to be lower. Braking system is dual hydraulic. Tires, 11 inches, air tubeless tires. Display is 3.5 inch LCD display. The key is NFC card, near field communication. If you want, you can also connect your NFC card for the scooter to your smartphone if it's an Android. It does not work with Apple iPhones. To do it, you go into the settings menu and then you go into connections and NFC. Frame material for this scooter is aluminum alloy. Suspension, dual suspension as I showed you. Throttle, thumb throttle. Payload capacity, max 330 pounds. Recommended 250 pounds. The weight of this scooter is 90 pounds. Deck material silicone. Light is 10 watt headlight and red tail light. Waterproof rating is IP54. It is a up to 2-year warranty. So throttle would be 2 years, controller, frame, all of those 2 years. Motor, battery, charger is 1 year. Kickstand, which is not a big deal, 1 month. Fenders, 1 month. Aesthetic damage, not covered. Before I take this over to the park, put on my safety gear and take it for a spin, Let me see how long it takes to charge using the supply charger to go from 50% to 100. Before plugging this in, it's showing 59.1 volts on the control panel, and the manufacturer says if you do a very long trip, wait about 30 minutes before charging the scooter. Okay, we're plugged in. You can see it's very hard to see actually, but it's red. That should turn green when the state of charge is 100%. The manufacturer also states that once every month you should put a charge on the scooter because there is a little bit of a drain on that battery even with the power off. And you can see the voltage is already up to 59.4 and we're showing 50% state of charge. I'll let you know how long it takes to get to 100%. Okay, I'm at the location where I'll be testing out the scooter. Just so you know, it took 6.5 hours to go from 49% all the way up to 100, where the green light turned on the charging block. What I'm going to be doing is testing out each one of the modes. There's a mode 1, which is the slowest, mode 3, which is the fastest. We're going to switch between single motor mode and dual motor mode. I want to see how well the scooter can handle all the bumps off to the side of the road on the grass with the suspension. I want to get a feel for the brakes. So let's get it going. Mode 1. Before you take the scooter out, you always want to inspect it first. Look over the whole scooter. Make sure there's no issues with the tires. Take a look, make sure everything is moving freely. And you also want to make sure that this column is locked with the pin and the knob. Do not ride off-road on gravel. Okay, I have all my safety gear on. I have mode 1 set on the scooter and single motor only. Stops on the dime. All right, so this is the maximum around 13 miles per hour. So now I'm going to go to dual motor. All right, try it again. A lot more acceleration off the line. Let's try off the grass here. Not bad at all, actually. Okay, so 14 miles per hour. Dual motor gives you a big launch when you take off. Before it was much slower. So now I'm going to go to single motor, turn that one off, and mode 2. Running really nice, 27 miles per hour. Right here, you want to always avoid this gravel. Do not turn fast on gravel because you will wipe out. Alright, that was 27 miles per hour maximum speed on setting number 2 and a very easy slow takeoff with one motor. Now let's do 2 motor and you'll see the difference. stops really, really good. Let's go on the grass. Pretty bumpy. Really bumpy, but handling very well. Okay, so that was pretty good. 28 miles per hour maximum. Took off nice and fast off the line. And now I'm going to be doing number 3. That's the fastest speed, up to 45. And I'm going to do single motor first. Here we go. Okay, that was level 3. You notice the takeoff speed was really gradual. When you saw me flying by, that was 30 miles an hour. So let's try dual motor now. Wow, 40 miles an hour when I passed you, and I hit 42 at the end of the road. Okay, 43 miles per hour is the maximum. And that's it for the testing on this Varla Eagle One Pro. Based on the road test I performed, I can tell you that the Varla Eagle One Pro scooter definitely performs extremely well. What I'm going to do now is wait for it to get dark and show you how bright the lights are on the road. And look at how bright that headlight is. You can see a great distance. And guys, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to rate, thumbs up, and share. Thanks for watching.